I read an article in New York Times, and the reporter said that you actually received a connection between your energetic meridian lines with a grid of the earth from a Jewish gypsy in somewhere in Venice Beach. Is that right?
It is true. That was one of a number of interesting experiences that I had.
You paid $333?
Yes, which was a lot more money then than it is now.
And it's also 333, which is kind of
interesting number,
yeah.
Isn't it? It seems to be very round, very perfect, very inclusive, very geometrical.
Yeah, they say it's a number of the ascended masters, so of the spiritual beings who are protecting us.
I think sometimes they say there are 144,000 ascended masters, which is also 1 + 4 + 4 is a 9, 3 + 3 + 3 is a 9. So maybe I don't get too lost in the numbers that way. I find them interesting to notice. Look, there are many things that have to do with 3. There's the Trinity, there's 12 months to a year, there's 360 degrees to a circle. Many cultures would have 12 gods. If one god would leave, another would come in. There are 6 sides to a carbon molecule, which is what makes us up as human beings. So the basis of 3, 6, 9, and 12 again is very commonly occurring in nature and in the earth.
So did you feel a change after you received this initiation?
After I experienced this session with this woman, I had a response that was rather unique. I woke up in the middle of the night because my lamp turned itself on and woke me up. My bedroom door, which was closed, was suddenly open. It felt as if somebody was in my house. I got a little concerned, so I got a big knife and a can of pepper spray for self-defense and my dog, and went looking through the house to see if anyone was there. No one was there. So I went back to sleep. But on that Monday, I went into my office to see my patients, and they started having healings. As I held my hands near them, their bodies went into involuntary movements. When they were lying there with their eyes closed, their eyes would dart back and forth and back and forth. When they opened their eyes, it said they were seeing colors they'd never seen, smelling flowers they'd never smelled. They felt very gentle, comforting hands resting on their forehead or their shoulders. They started having healings. They were getting up out of wheelchairs, vision and hearing returning. Children with cerebral palsy or epilepsy were suddenly able to walk and run and play, and they were not having seizures. They weren't needing medications any longer. It didn't happen this way for every single person, but it was happening for a lot of people. A significant number of people were having a significant number of significant healings.
I was there near you when you explained people from Romania what it's all about, the reconective healing, and you said that one of your grandmothers was a Romanian. Do you recall her? I mean, she was Jewish, right?
Absolutely. My family on both sides is Jewish. My mother's side of the family is Russian, Hungarian, Austrian. And on my father's side of the family, they're Russian and Romanian. So my father's father came here and brought all of his younger, 8 or 9 brothers and sisters with him.
So who are living in Romania, actually?
Well, my grandfather brought his 8 or 9 relatives from Russia to the United States, where he met my grandmother, who came over from Romania, actually Bessarabia, which was Romania at the time. And they spoke a lot of Russian. My grandfather didn't speak Romanian, but my grandmother did. so that they spoke Russian and Romanian when my parents were growing up. But unfortunately, my parents decided that I should learn English fluently. They only spoke English in the household, so I don't really have any Romanian or Russian knowledge or understanding of the language.
But how do you recall your grandmother, if you recall her?
Oh, I recall her very much. She died when I was 5. I remember she would pick me up, spin me in circles, lift me into the air. She was very
Loving.
She was very loving. She was very outgoing. She was very boisterous. She loved humor, off-color humor. She would tell jokes that would make very proper women, be a little blush or embarrassed about. She also used to be in vaudeville, and she would play the guitar and sing in vaudeville. But before that, she learned to ride horses. She could actually ride 2 horses, 1 foot on each horse, and ride them both at the same time.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah.
Do you think it's random? I mean, probably it's not, but how do you feel the fact that after so much time of living in the United States, you came here to the country of one of your closest relatives?
I left the country a couple of times when I was young. When I was in high school, I went on a school trip that took me to France and Italy. When I was in my 2nd year of college, I went to the Hebrew University in Jerusalem, and from Jerusalem I got to travel to Europe. And then, when I got back, I didn't leave the country for maybe another 20 years or so. And that was me needing to travel to teach reconective healing. So, touching Romania, touching Russia, touching Hungary or Austria, touching the countries where my family came from, is a very special feeling. It allows me to feel as if I'm walking around that generations before me have walked and seen. And I wonder if I can actually see my relatives there, see my family there. It also brings about an understanding that reconective healing teaches, which is that we are all one. There's so much conflict because we're so busy looking around at other people to see what makes me special, what makes me unique. Everyone wants to be special and unique and different, and the truth is we're all one. Every understanding, every experience that I have is in every proton in my body. But once it's in any proton in my body, it's shared with everyone. Once it's shared with every proton in my body, it's shared with every proton in your body. You watching this program, your protons are changing because we're having this conversation, we're having this experience, which means, according to quantum physics today, every proton in the universe is expanding. So our growth and our experience expands the universe. And I often say it's time for us to dig through our underwear drawers where we keep our t-shirts that say, kiss me, I'm Romanian, and kiss me, I'm Irish, and kiss me, I'm Jewish, and kiss me, I'm Catholic, and kiss me, I'm this, that, and the other. And throw them out and get new ones that say, kiss me, I'm you. It's time to recognize that when one child from one part of the planet cries, 100 children cry. When one child laughs, 1,000 children laugh. That we are that connected. I believe that war is a temporary state of barbarism that we are going through. Humanity will evolve beyond that point. But our first step there is to look at another person and say, am I in there?
Thank you.
Thank you. We're bringing reconective healing online for that same reason. We're bringing the first level of reconective healing, making it available online so you can download it and begin to access it in the privacy of your own home and bring these healing consciousness frequencies into your own life on an everyday basis, because the consciousness of reconnective healing that you learn in the online level 1 is a very valuable growth experience. We put it together in 8 hours, my partner Jillian and I, 8 hours of learning how to feel the frequencies, how to find them, how to play with them, how to own them in your body. And then it makes you eligible to learn the live level 2 training, which we're bringing here to Bucharest, July 7, 8, and 9. So we'll be teaching live, simultaneously translated into Romanian. Our teaching assistants, some of them are Romanian, so they're speaking the language. You don't need to know any English, and I don't need to know any Romanian, although I would like to. Have you ever felt the reconnective healing frequencies?
No.
Would you like to feel them in your hand?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to glide a little closer to you. Take one hand,
That's also a Reiki practitioner.
open your fingers, hold them wide open. Now I'm going to bring my hand in here. Don't let your fingers move. Open them up. Don't let them move. See how they start to move? You watching your fingers? Watch. Open them wide. Don't let them move. What do you feel, if anything, when I do this?
That's moving. My hand is moving.
Your hand is moving. Are you moving your hand, or is your hand moving itself?
It's like the particles.
It's like the particles are moving. What happens in one proton in consciousness in our heart is shared with another proton in consciousness in our heart, and it's shared with the DNA in our essence, and this is how, with the truth of who we are. Reconnective healing is very important to me to bring to Romania. This is part of the reason that I'm coming here live to teach a level 2. I hope as many people in Romania learn the level 1 online, in the privacy of your own home as you want, because it makes you eligible to attend the live level 2 where I can feel you, my people.
Very good.
Thank you.
It's funny that I could feel my hand like, being formed of particles and being moved and, kind of a very fine feeling. For a person who, let's say, doesn't need healing or is healthy, what's the use of reconnective healing?
Because healing is not just as we think of it, getting better from something, regaining the use of your arm or your leg or your vision or your hearing. Healing is actually our human evolution. It's our life progress. It's discovering that relationships change, they evolve. Personal relationships, primary family relationships with children, with parents, work relationships, people end up evolving on their careers, feeling younger, moving younger, and actually looking younger. Many of our people who work with reconnective healing, their families often tell them they look 10, 15, 20 years younger, and they feel it at the same time. We find that it brings abundance into our lives, abundance of health, abundance of love, abundance even in prosperity. We are reconnecting with our fullness. So it's not just healing, something went bad and something comes back to normal again, but it's progress in our life, and everyone is here to evolve. Everyone.
Exactly. Thank you so much.
Thank you.